Imagine a fried egg inside of a Spanish croqueta. Well, this is what huevos encapotados are.
Huevos Encapotados.
Hi guys, it's Guille from Cooking from Spain. Today we're making huevos encapotados, my friends. Basically, the ingredients is the only easy part of this recipe, honestly, because it's just pretty basic stuff. We're gonna make a bechamel with, as usual, some milk, flour, butter, and well, salt and spices. I'm gonna use black pepper, nutmeg, and this dried boletus, dry porcini, that is super nice. But basically you can use whatever you want to spice it up, okay? And then we're gonna use eggs that we're gonna fry. Of course, we're gonna need also a little bit of oil. And of course, for the coating, we're gonna need some flour, some breadcrumbs, and some more egg. And how do we start this recipe? First of all, we're gonna start with the frying. But before that, I'm gonna already warm up my milk, so then later it's easy for me to make the bechamel. Let's go. Okay, we just put the milk already there in minimum. Frying the eggs is the first thing we want to do because we need to cool them down before assembling our huevos encapotados later. So for frying, I'm just gonna warm up a good amount of oil. And here's a little trick. We want our eggs to be as round and beautiful as possible. That's why I'm gonna do this little trick of letting them fall into a strainer. So we get rid of this little water. That's gonna help us make the egg as round as possible. If you are lucky enough to have a neighbor or someone that gives you fresh and good eggs, you probably don't need this step. But if you're a city boy just like me, with no access to fresh and good quality eggs, you wanna do that to make sure your eggs have the perfect shape. So after a couple of seconds, I can already put it here. And for frying the eggs, we want high heat, okay? We want the oil to be almost smoking a little bit. It has to be really strong to get the perfect fried egg. And also a little trick to avoid sticking your spatula into your eggs is to warm up the spatula also. So once you're warming up the oil, you also make sure you dig in your spatula a little bit so it's at the right temperature. Once the oil is ready, we just put our egg and we don't need to touch it so much. And we can already also do the same with this one. How to fry the perfect egg? Don't touch it, just let it go. High heat, in total I would say maybe less than 2 minutes, 1 minute and a half. And at the very end, you do want to put a little bit of the hot oil on top, so you get rid of that raw egg white, but not so much, because of course for our huevos encapotados we want the egg yolk to be still runny, right? So I would say they are ready. It was less than 1 minute, I would say. One out, and the second one also out. That's how I like it, with this beautiful golden crisp egg white, that in Spain we call it puntilla, puntillita. Essential for a proper fried egg. We're gonna make 6 eggs. So look, this is already looking nice. I put a little bit on top. Once they were fried, we put a little bit of salt on each and we cool them down. I'm gonna put them in the fridge. While the eggs cool down, let's start with the bechamel. We're gonna put our butter, same amount of butter and flour, but in this case we want a thick bechamel because otherwise it's gonna be really difficult to form them later. So we're gonna put 150 grams of butter, 150 grams of flour for 1 liter of milk. So we'll get it thick and easy to work. We have our butter ready. We're gonna put our flour and we just mix it together and let it toast a couple of minutes. When making our roux, you can actually make it 3 ways. We can make just like a plain roux, so we don't toast the flour at all and we directly put the milk, but then we would need to cook the bechamel for at least 20 minutes, half an hour. We can slightly toast the flour, therefore the flavor of raw is already gone and we just need to cook the bechamel for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And we could even make a dark roux, which is basically toasting the flour almost until it burns. A really brown color, that way you can also make a different, but the result of that bechamel would be different because it would be more dark and we want our bechamel white, that's all. This is already a little bit toasted and now our milk that is already warm, little by little. I'm not gonna use a whisk. I'm gonna still use the spatula because if the milk is warm enough, you're not gonna have problem with lumps, okay? And this way you don't develop so much gluten and your bechamel don't get too thick in your mouth later. It's more elegant. You see how the roux is slowly absorbing all the humidity. No lumps. No lumps at all. And now is the moment we season it up. 1, 2, 4 teaspoons of salt, pepper to taste, nutmeg always gives a really nice touch to the bechamel. This little secret that I love to use in these kind of recipes because it increases the umami, dried boletus. And this is minimum heat, and we're just gonna keep it for 5 more minutes more or less, so we get rid of those raw flavors. You have to be careful in this moment because as it's really thick, if you don't stir it properly, it will burn at the bottom. You need to try. It's 2 more. And it needs to cook still. It still tastes like raw. You could also even, for example, what I'm gonna do, as I'm trying it and I see that I need to give it at least another 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna add a little bit more of milk. Now it's cold, but that's why I'm adding not so much, and the rest of the thing is pretty warm, so it's also not gonna be a problem. Okay, just a little bit more. And this is basically the difference between a shitty bechamel and a proper, good restaurant level bechamel, to cook it long enough. Well, I would say this is ready, okay? In total, it was something like 15 minutes. Let's give it another try now. Careful, because this is really hot. Yeah, now it's good. I'll put still a little bit more of salt. Okay, so this is ready. And now, I got myself 1 tray, our beautiful fried eggs. We're gonna put 6 bases, so something like this. We're gonna make it a little bit the shape that we want. And this way we get thin layer as a base, and now we're gonna go with the eggs, making them a little bit bigger. Now we cover it. We have to be extremely careful with the part of the egg yolk, of course, because we want that beautiful surprise to appear later when we're eating the egg. Okay, so, and as you can see, this thick bechamel, it starts to cool down. You can see how it's like really easy to work, but still, we're gonna leave it at least 12 hours in the fridge. The next day, after a long time in the fridge, our huevos encapotados are ready for the coating. 1 minute of silence for this fallen soldier, and this one I think also. I think that was because I was not careful enough while transferring from the plate to the bechamel. Now that, as you can see, look how, you know, with the thick bechamel that we built, this in cold temperature now is pretty easy to work, right? I'm still gonna shape them a little bit, I think. So it's a little bit more beautiful. Doesn't even need to do this, but well, just a little bit. So I'm just gonna cut the outsides a little bit. It's definitely not necessary. You don't have to do this. So now, well, as usual, the traditional coating situation. I have egg here that I already put some salt in. Remember always to salt your eggs when you're gonna coat, otherwise the coating is gonna decrease the flavor or the final flavor, or it's just not gonna have flavor enough. And we're gonna do the traditional. I actually want the coating to be strong enough. We're gonna use a little bit of flour here. I take out the excess and to the egg. From the flour to the egg, and then from the egg to the breadcrumbs, very carefully. Okay. And in this case, with huevos encapotados, I want to repeat this last thing from the breadcrumbs again to the egg, and then again to the breadcrumbs. So we get a double coating that it's make it more stable. As usual, I'm letting this sit for 2 minutes while I do the next one. Our eggs are beautifully coated already, and we're gonna fry them. For the frying, we want a quick 1 minute, 1 minute and a half maximum. So we want in 1 minute and a half to get our eggs beautiful and golden. So 180 degrees, already preheated. And let's wait no longer, huh? 1 minute and a half, and this is beautifully golden. So I think I would say this is ready. It takes a little bit of work presenting this to family or to your friends, you know, or to that girl that you want to impress, or boy, whatever. You go there and like, hey, got a meal for you. And you present them this delicacy. Can you open this? I mean, you know, just how we want it. The egg yolk is still runny. That's the main, I would say that's the main thing we need, you know, to succeed with this recipe. Salud. Spectacular. Giving a bite to a crunchy croqueta kind of thing, and then finding the egg yolk and the flavor of the fried egg inside, it's an experience that I highly recommend you to try.